When you trust God in the middle of anxiety, your identity shifts. And I'm not talking about your sleep comes back, chest loosens, 3 a.m. spiral stops. Everyone says that. I'm talking about the deeper things, the ones I had to live through to believe. See, most of us say we trust God, but if you look closer, we trust Him with our Sunday prayers, not our 3 a.m. thoughts. We trust Him with our worship, but not our worst fears. We scream that God is in control and then spend the whole night trying to micromanage the outcome ourselves. That's not trust, that's performance. And anxiety knows the difference. But here's what the Bible actually shows us. When people trusted God in their most anxious moments, it didn't just calm them down. It reconstructed them. David wrote Psalm 56 with trembling hands surrounded by enemies. He didn't write, "Now that I'm safe, I trust you." He wrote, "When I am afraid, I trust you." Right in the middle of the panic, right now, 301 million people are living with diagnosed anxiety. Most people are still waiting for change, not because they lack faith, because nobody showed them what trust actually does. This video will. Here are 6 things that happen when you surrender control. Thing 1, the death of the internal script. When you trust God in the middle of anxiety, the first thing that dies is your internal script. You stop frantically rehearsing arguments, excuses, and worst-case scenarios in your head. You finally operate under the reality of Luke 12:11-12, where Jesus explicitly tells His disciples not to worry about how or what they will answer. Thing 2, honesty with yourself. Day 7. By day 7, trust starts exposing things. You notice how often you reach for quick answers just to feel in control. You stop pretending you're certain when you're not. You stop forcing confidence. Psalm 51:6 says God desires truth in the inward being, and trust begins there, not with certainty, with honesty. Thing 3, total physical surrender. Day 10. This deep internal honesty paves the way for a total physical surrender by day 10. Your body actually believes the surrender before your mind does. Your nervous system drops out of a months-long fight or flight spiral and finally feels safe enough to rest. This follows the pattern in 1 Kings 19. Elijah was exhausted and overwhelmed. God didn't start with a lecture, He gave him food. He gave him rest. Only then did He move him forward. Sometimes trust looks like sleeping because you're no longer trying to hold the world together yourself. Thing 4, the separation from the storm. Once your nervous system settles, your identity completely separates from the storm. You stop saying, "I'm anxious," and realize anxiety is just weather passing through you. Like Jesus sleeping in the stern in Mark 4:38-40, you realize the disciples panicked because they identified with the chaos. True trust creates a cognitive gap where the storm may still be raging, but it no longer has the power to define who you are. Thing 5, the weight shift. Day 20. By day 20, you walk back into the exact same rooms with the exact same problems, but you carry a profound weight shift. You aren't louder, you aren't panicking, and you aren't trying to prove anything. You are just steadier, operating in the raw power of Isaiah 30:15, which declares that in quietness and trust is your strength. You carry what scripture calls kavod, the heavy, unyielding glory of God, and people in the room will feel that internal weight shift before you even open your mouth. Thing 6, total metamorphosis. Day 30. Finally, day 30 hits. You look in the mirror and realize you are fundamentally not the same man. The anxiety didn't vanish into thin air and the problems didn't magically dissolve, but the man standing in front of them is entirely new. This is the literal manifestation of 2 Corinthians 3:18, a complete metamorpho, a structural transformation from the inside out. You have successfully stripped off the old self driven by survival, and you are finally more yourself and more aligned with His design than you have been in years. But a transformation like this doesn't happen by accident, and it certainly doesn't happen while you are still trying to play God in your own life. If you are tired of the 3 a.m. spirals, tired of the performance, and ready to experience what actual structural surrender feels like, you have to stop micromanaging the storm. The shift you are looking for is waiting on the other side of your willingness to finally run out of fight. Over the last 30 days, your ego completely dissolves. The exhausting illusion that you have to control everything breaks down day by day. By the end, the false identity of an anxious person trying to survive is totally gone. In its place, your ego is replaced by pure surrender, leaving you entirely transparent before God, reconstructed not by your own effort, but by His presence. If this video challenged the way you look at your anxiety, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment with the specific day you are stuck on right now, and let's stop performing and start trusting.